Baby, I'm a lost cause. Tired of fighting for a lost cause. Let's see. There it is. Double. Let me see here. So we're pretty deep into this. We're like 170 pages in almost. Let me give everybody a little hot second to come through. Although it's pretty early in the morning, so I'm not sure who's going to come out, which means if we added about 10 and a third pages a day for the next 3 days, I'll be done with this novel. Or done with the first part of it. I mean, you're never really done with a novel. The characters live on. Like, yeah, that's one thing I'm noticing with like some of my later works is that the characters start like popping up in your dreams and daydreams and so forth. You've imbued them with like enough of yourself that they start not in kind of like a paranoid schizophrenic way, but they feel more and more like people as you're thinking about them more and giving them more of your time and energy. Like so that's a hot one right there. You know, your reality unraveling. All right, what do we got here? I got nobody at the moment, but just the same, we're gonna press on and we're gonna edit. And I'm feeling pretty fucking good about this novel. Honestly, I hope anybody watching this at a later time is too. It's been it's been a good ride. Specifically, this edit stream is where I feel like the whole process has been very streamlined. Like one part of it is I'm not drinking, um, like real heavy or anything. So and I'm eating well, and for the most part sleeping well, and all those things make this easier. Let me see. I'm not dating anybody seriously, and that actually is one of like the biggest loads off of my mind of all time. It's just whew, them women take a lot of your mental bandwidth and so forth. I mean, I'm still dating around, and some very lovely young women in my life, but nobody where I like have to be concerned about them, where I'm like worried about what's going on in their lives, and I like have to fix it. These are just people I know who enjoy like dinner with me, so life is a little bit easier just when I'm on my own for the most part. So what else is going on? We got a new crazy camera setup here. I'm a big fan of the DJI Pocket, which is this teeny little gimbal included camera. The video quality is not like stellar, but just having stabilized footage in literally like the palm of your hand is great. And the new one comes with a like a wireless mic that's sort of built into this guy. Why do I say this? I say this because it could make it a lot easier to do shit like street reading streams and so forth. So I'm gonna do a potentially I'll do a test of this street reading thing, and we'll see how that all goes down. But it's pretty promising so far. Like the video quality is like definitely good enough for like that lemon maybe thing that I was doing. So we'll see what's going on there. All right, let me see if I can rouse anybody uh, to this edit. And if not, as much as I love having the audience, and we got some great suggestions yesterday. Anybody who watches this after the fact I was talking with somebody about it, and it was one of the times when I felt like I had some serious experts up in the stream. We had Negi chiming in, and I don't know if he has a degree in higher mathematics at this point, or if he's just a student. But whatever he might even be like a fucking professor at this point. Um, but some of the edits that when we were talking about how we could describe some of these geometric features, it was just so nice to have somebody who actually knew what the fuck they were talking about. And then Era came through and had obviously either done some flying himself or spent a lot of time on planes. And so we got some good corrections for military terminology there. And I'm just reminded that every book that you read is really like a huge team effort, and a lot of people normally go unheralded, right? You never read an amazing book that transports you to like a wonderland of fantasy and imagination, and think somebody edited the shit out of this book, but they absolutely did. Um, when you're looking at the writing that I'm putting here, it's not that I'm a terrible writer. It's just that normally there is a process of editing going on behind the scenes that unless you work in books or work in publication in some kind of way, you never really get to see the full extent of just how shitty most people are at writing until you delve into it right there. And believe me, I would know. um, and I always, like, even after we do this big editing stream where all of us have worked on this for so long, each of these books will go out and be edited by a professional editor who will scrutinize it and fix like a lot of tense issues and disagree with like a lot of our comma decisions, who will make the book better than it is. And it's like more and more as I get older, I'm learning to value the contributions of others. As somebody who has always been um, like relatively solitary, not doing a lot of listening to other people, and just inwardly focused. But eventually, kind of the nice thing is you get sick of yourself in a way that is productive, right? You're not no longer as like self-impressed or self-important and so forth, and external factors become more interesting, which is something that I'm enjoying. Because good lord, I've been me for long enough. Anyhow, I'm gonna have to be me and do this edit on my own until somebody wakes up, and I'm more than happy to do it. So this is chapter 20. This is XEROS by Zach ZYZ. Hold on, hold on. How long has it been since? Oh, well, Logic was awake as of. Let me see. How drunk is he? Hey, he and Stratum were just posting their nicknames for like the last hour, so probably pretty deep in the bag. Well, it's gonna miss one of the hot ones. 7-1, 60 seconds to the ring. The Digimori in my ring. This isn't capitalized. It's the name of a drug, but I don't think we haven't talked. There are no brand names in the distant future where this takes. Oh, wait a second. Let me make sure that this shit is not set to. All right, it's set to public. Uh, yeah, because sometimes when I'm fooling with stream settings and so forth, shit will like occasionally set to private, and then everybody's like, ah. Anyhow, 7-1, 60 seconds to the ring. The Digimori in my veins whispered that the Agalag 81 interceptors were nothing. I was invincible. I was invincible, but the rest of my body was not in accord. I could feel my scrotum retracting, my chute tightening around the output pipe. There was a screaming tension in my neck that wanted to wrench at the controls, pull a screaming retreat. Oh, yeah. So this is a spot where actually the PDFs that let's take a look. I've got some of the a gear down pass. Gear down pass is pretty close. A reverse Cuban 8. Let me see what just the I guess split S is pretty close. It's like you go back the way that you're going. Flat pass. Takeoff maneuver. I could call it a whifferdale maneuver. I could go with high speed reposition. So the problem is like a lot of the maneuvers. So I'm looking at a book of FAA maneuvers that are for air shows. A repositioning turn. That's closest. But honestly, for our readers, probably. Okay. Oh, there you are, Spathy Wall. Thank God you're here. You're the only one. All right. So we're up into chapter 20 where he's flying towards the first ring of the star mine, and it's guarded by a squadron of 7 interceptors. So Trader is trying to figure out what the fuck to do. I'm so glad you're here. 7-1, 60 seconds to the ring. How am I saying? The Dejamery in my veins whispered that the Agalag 81 interceptors were nothing, and I was invincible. And that I was invincible. But the rest of my body was not in accord. I could feel my scrotum retracting, my chute tightening around the output pipe. There was a screaming tension in my neck that wanted to wrench at the controls. We can just cut this out. Crazy week? Yeah, man. You must have been like so busy. Because I know that you, at least I hope that you actually enjoy. Oh, fuck. Hold on. I have to fix. If you do the leaderboard right now, all you're going to get is, because I've got like, well, we'll see if I have to actually add anything right there. But I can fix that, but I have to stand up to do it there. Oh, oh. Yeah, man, I'm sorry that you had to miss like a bunch of this edit. It's been like a pretty good book so far. But I don't know. We'll do Rapasaurus at some point there, which I'm sure that you'll enjoy. And I've got ideas for other books, but I just think that's funny. I like watching this fat idiot on the screen, and there was a screaming tension in my neck that wanted to wrench at the controls. I wanted to wrench at the controls and fly back the way I'd came. My hands were poised to wrench at the controls and fly back the way I'd come. The cowardly urge was opposed by XEROS Ghost, screaming in my ear. Oh shit. We got DJ Hydro Trip Tree. Hell yeah. So Cowardly Urge doesn't track right. The cowardice. My cowardice was opposed by XEROS Ghost, screaming in my ear. Dicta 6. If you get caught, fly at the danger. This is some real Breaking Bad type shit. It's literally one of the dicta. How fast could the Yama really go? I'd love to have a word that isn't how there. This is my own motto, by the way. There's only one way to find out. It's literally my mantra. Oh, so stupid. How fast could the Yama really go? How much acceleration could my body withstand? There was only one way to find out. I took a deep breath, filling my lungs with compression fluid. Then I hammered down, full throttle. I was crushed into the flesh of the Yama, my weight doubling again and again until my body became a lump. Oh yeah. I like this amplified. So what do we got here? Then I hammered down, full throttle. Mm-hmm. I took a deep breath, filling my lungs with compression fluid. Then, comma, I hammered down, full throttle. I was crushed into the flesh of the llama. My weight doubled. And my weight doubled, then quadrupled. My body was a lump of pure suffering, amplified by Dijimori hyper-awareness. Okay, and at the first edit that we actually get, I will get up and fix the scoreboard. My canopy had grown as dark as welding glass. I could only see outlines. "10 seconds from the ring, I saw 6 twinkling lights flickering from the interceptors. 10 seconds from the ring, I saw 6 pair. Yeah, I don't like twinkling. That is a good point. Now I have to get up. I'll be right back. Mm-hmm. Here we go. Now you got your level right. So there we go. Full blast. I haven't turned up the volume on the main console for you there. Uh, so, Spathy White, one thing that may be of interest to you is that I decided that the people who had first, second, and third place on the edits will get to add a line on their acknowledgments page. It can say whatever you want, but ideally it's something about the book or the editing process. So I think you're number one on Gravid, Space Tards, and Lemon Maybe. So you can add, although I don't know if we have the leaderboard for those. So if you get a hot second and can give me the totals for any of the previous books right there, I'm doing like a bunch of I don't know if you saw, if you look at the Zach ZYZ page, we have a new store on there, and there are shirts with art from like all of the books that we've worked on and put out, except for Space Tards. Sorry. I don't know what the fuck. I should really just put that out under a fucking pen name or something. That's another thing that I'll do for the top 3. We'll send you like a hat, or I'll get like a coupon for a hat or some shit like that. But well, maybe something like better than just a fucking hat. I'll see what I can do there. But yeah, I'm doing more work on writing this week. So I was flying directly into the sun. My canopy had grown as dark as welding glass. They were firing on me. I was flying directly into the sun. My canopy had grown as dark as welding glass. 10 seconds from the ring, I could only see outlines. Pinpricks of light flickered from the waiting interceptors. They were firing on me. Firing on me sounds less good than they were firing at me. There we go. The Agalag 81s were designed for this. The Agalag 81s were made for this. They'd been designed to shoot down incoming missiles to protect their carrier. But I was no missile. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we gotta cut that out. All right, the Agalag 81s were made for this. They'd been designed to shoot down incoming missiles and protect their carrier. The Agalag 81s had been designed to protect their carrier by shooting down incoming missiles. I was no missile. With leaden hands, I twisted the spurs, heedless of the pain. I darted behind a line of freighters, like a squirrel hiding on the far side of a tree. The shots flew wide. They hadn't expected me to be so nimble. I wanted to smile, but my grimace was too heavy. Dicta 3. Fire only at close range, and only when your opponent is properly in your sights. The clabs must have... The collaborators must have intended a second volley, but the Yama was flying faster than anything they'd ever seen. I was already upon them. For a breathless piece of eternity, I strained my ears against the screaming reactor, listening for the crack of doom against my diamond hull. My Yama was flying faster than anything they'd ever seen. They were still firing, but I was already upon them. For a breathless piece of I don't like breathless piece of eternity. Our paths crossed for a microsecond. I strained my ears against the screaming reactor, listening for the crack of doom against my diamond hull. They missed. Our paths crossed for a microsecond that felt like a breathless eternity. I strained my ears against the screaming reactor, listening for the crack of doom against my diamond hull. They missed. But then, a flash of titanium white at 3 o'clock caught my eye. The 7th interceptor. He'd waited in reserve, holding his fire until I was in killing range. The Dijumori screamed in my veins. Time dripped by in heartbeats. My canopy lensed towards the roomy gleam of his cockpit, a viper's eye. I clenched the spurs for my final gamble, remembering the moment when Ramp had first kicked in. I had to wait until the instant before he fired. Twin cannon flashed, but I was a heartbeat faster, ramming my spurs into a spine-crushing vertical juke. The Yama sprang like a flea, bounding above the spray of tungsten slugs. All right, this piece is too much. Which piece is too much? The Breathless Eternity or the entirety of the book? Let me see. Yeah, I need to know whether that's like general feedback, or whether Breathless Eternity doesn't work in the context of let's see. Oh, just the Breathless Eternity bit, which I removed? Okay. Our paths crossed for a microsecond that felt like forever. I strained my ears against the screaming reactor, listening for the crack of doom against my diamond hull. Yeah. Yeah, because literally, like, if he's going, like, the amount of time that if they're just like lying in wait, is like that. In fact, it's beyond. Um, I couldn't expect a human being to ever shoot down something that was going that fast. This is like a little bit of a ridiculous conceit, as is, but okay. Because yeah, this is meant to be a little bit. I don't want to be so fucking ridiculous that the reader just puts down the book and is like, I don't have time for this bullshit. But I do want it to be like a little bit Buck Rogers and like action and excitement and so forth. So twin cannon flashed. I was a heartbeat faster, ramming my spurs into a spine-crushing vertical juke. The Yama sprang. My Yama sprang like a flea, bounding above the spray of tungsten slugs. The pain. My vision flared white-orange. My vision flared white-orange. My organs were on the verge of tearing apart. Oh. Nah, I don't like organs. I'm not there. But yeah, like I agree with that edit, which let me get. So there's your Breathless Eternity one right there. Would somebody describe their own action as heedless? Let's take a look. Yeah, I think in the context of you might say heedless of pain. Um, Somebody might describe their own actions as heedless if they were like trying to pat themselves on the back for something that they were doing. It's like, yeah, pain doesn't matter. Like, you might say ignoring the pain. Also, if this is high G stress, does it feel like tearing apart or getting crushed both? Yeah, because there's kind of like a rubber band thing happening with this spring thing. All right, so I'm okay with heedless there. Let's see. He would have like significant internal bleeding as a consequence of probably some of the maneuvers that we're describing. Um, what the hell would that feel like? That's a good question. Mm-hmm. So I want to avoid every cell because I think we've hit that point somewhere in the book, and also because there's like a copy paste of what this one dude was saying a little bit early in the book that logic has been spamming in LRH, and it includes like the every cell in it there, and I'm just like, let me. Hmm. Every pore and orifice, yeah. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just trying to jig the gears. I hear you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. This is like it's a hokey fucking line. The pain. It was the worst I'd ever felt. As every nerve in my body screamed. I wish I just let him shoot me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. The interceptor fired his jets and gave chase. He had me in his sight, but I was flying faster than his bullets. Celeritas sum. I laughed into the fluid. Okay. The pain. It was the worst I'd ever felt. Ugh, this chapter is like so full of fucking exclamation points. I wish I'd just let him shoot me. It hurts so bad, I wish I'd just let him shoot me. I like that, where he talks about how his brain is already bruised. Maybe we could talk about how his brain was like fucking tenderized or something like that. Mm. Twin cannon flashed. I was a heartbeat faster, ramming my spurs into a spine-crushing vertical juke. My Yama sprang like a flea, bounding above the spray of tungsten slugs. My already bruised brain, my battered brain was crunched against the roof of my skull once more. And my vision flared white-orange. It hurt so bad I wished I'd just let him shoot me. He had me in his sights, but I was flying faster than his bullets. Celeritas sum, which is Latin for I am speed. I laughed into the fluid, half crazed with Dijamori and adrenaline. I'd outrun them all. Yeah, it's much better. It's much improved, right? Then the space around my ship erupted with energy, coruscating rays of dazzling violet-green light. Polyphasic beams. I couldn't outrun light itself. This doesn't track right to me. Yeah. A purple nova burst against my canopy and everything went black. I clenched my jaw, preparing to disintegrate. More acceleration. I was hurtling even faster. It was just dumb luck. I was out of range. At this range, the polyphasic beam couldn't penetrate my phased diamond skin. Praise the inverse square law. My exchangers drank up the beam's energy gladly, converting it into thrust. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, loving this. Yeah. I'm screaming into the storm line, flying so fast the lines of freighters were blurs of. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's still funny. Oh. It's the butt missile sound effect from Star Control 2. I thought it was your actual anus. So I've been laboring under that misconception for the entirety of this edit and the previous one as well. Oh shit, it's snowing outside. I was flying blind, terrified that my canopy had been damaged. Like a drunkard reluctantly opening his eyes. I was flying blind, terrified that my canopy had been damaged. Mm-hmm. No, that's not better. Yeah. Uh, but slowly it began to emit light again, facing the sun with a drunk's reluctance. Yeah, like a shriveled up gate. I like where this is going. It just needs like a little honing, so it's not so fucking corn pone. Um, I was flying blind. The canopy. I was flying blind. My canopy was still blacked out. I was afraid it had been damaged. But eventually the Yama began to let light in again, facing the sun with a drunkard's reluctance. Uh, I like that. Okay. I was flying blind. I was flying blind. My canopy was still blacked out. I was afraid it had been damaged. Eventually, the Yama began to let light in, facing the sun with a drunkard's reluctance. We were screaming into the star mind, surrounded by silver rails that vanished into infinity. My chest hurt, and I was acutely aware I was underwater. My chest hurt, and I was acutely unaware I was underwater. Even in the throes of the Dijamori high, I was drowning in G-force. I'd found the absolute limit. I eased off the throttle. Color crept back into my vision, and terrible cramps racked my body. Everything hurt, but I was alive. I could feel myself becoming more lucid with every heartbeat. Like each better. Oh, there's that comma. Where is young Logic, man? He's missing out here. Maybe you'll catch up with his ass. Let's see there. Even in the throes of a Dijamori high, I was drowning in G-force. I'd found the absolute limit. Satisfied I'd found the absolute limit, I eased off the throttle. Color crept back into my vision, and terrible cramps racked my body. Everything hurt, but I was alive. I could feel myself becoming more lucid with each heartbeat. It was 100 heartbeats before I had to work up the courage to look behind me. Yawing backward, I could see the 7 tiny candles of their jets. I just threw him all my meetings. Did you really? Logic's in there. I think yeah, the code good. But sometimes code bad. BRB. I like to hope that he's getting some trim, and I don't mean of his ailerons. You know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? I had to work up the courage to look behind me. Yawing backward, I could see the 7 tiny candles of their jets. Yawing backward, I could see the 7 tiny candles of their jets in hopeless pursuit. Without ramp, they could never catch me. Okay, so here's... Well, no, honestly, you can have a jet. We'll just say fucking jet. Color crept into my vision. No, I don't want to come in there. Because that's their What if he's really trying to figure out how to mash two SAMLs together while talking to the client's forehead? Because that's all we can see on the call. Is that happening to you right now? Ugh. Fucking SAML. I just had to deal with that bullshit recently. It was garbage. Fucking everything in Azure is horseshit. Like, I don't. They had this chance to like start fresh and fix all their shit, and of course they can't. They're just buried under legacy costs. And they just, so much shit that should work in it is fucking disabled. I don't know what the good SSO even is at the moment there. I'm sure that like some open SSO standard is better, but just fucking, all the world should just say, you know what, fuck all this password nonsense, and just everything is right protected. No more accessing files at all. Just work with what you got. The end. Oh, that's awful. God, I love that though. Just everybody like, hey, why can't I post on Instagram? It's like, sorry, this is all the data that you get. You used it all up. Like there's just like a throttle on the entire, or like the entire planet hits this data cap. The aliens like come in, and they're just like, yeah, sorry, this is as much information as the world is allowed to generate. You guys are done. Like just no more writing to any kind of media. Oh, did that all week. Yeah, sorry. I want to use check my six there. We haven't I had to work up the courage to check my six. Yawing backward, I could see the 7 tiny candles of their jets in hopeless pursuit. Without ramp, they could never catch me. Without compression fluid, they would be torn apart in the attempt. I was free. It was an insane way for a man strapped to a bomb inside of a crystal prison to feel. Yeah, let's just make it strapped to a bomb. Yeah, let's just take out the crystal prison part. I think crystal prison is cool. Yeah. We can fix the world by just versioning everything. You can write anything. It just makes a diff version and keeps the original intact. I'm with it, honestly. Like I'll go along with that at this point. I'm just so sick of computers. I said that I'm like literally like more computer than man at this point there. I got a big pile. Oh, we bought a new computer for the show, for the van project, Spiffy. I'm still waiting on the power supply and like the case, and it's just impossible to find any kind of video card. So I'm gonna have to use like an old GTX 1080 for this until, I don't know, maybe you can get a video card in like March or something like that, but I doubt it. People are just trying to mine Bitcoin like there's no tomorrow or whatever. But this should be nice. It'll have like 128 gigs of RAM. It's got like a decent. I had to stick with Zen 2 because you can't get the Zen 3 chips. Um, I could maybe upgrade later if it's like that big of a pump. But yeah, like, and like a really fast SSD and stuff like that. So hopefully it works. We might do like a build stream or something like that on the other show. But I think it's corny, but people seem to want it. So, story of my life. I had to work up the courage to check my six. Yawing backward, I could see the 7 tiny candles of their jets in hopeless pursuit. Without ramp, they could never catch me. Without compression fluid, they would be torn apart in the attempt. I was free. It was an insane way for a man strapped to a bomb to feel, but I felt it anyway. Seoul grew ever larger as I sailed across 5 million kilometers of corona. The rings whipped by, and I had time to ponder the filament cavity they'd created in the corona. The interval between rings shrank as I flew deeper. My exchangers whined. And the pitch of my exchangers was climbing. As the corona became more energetic, more rings were needed to keep its fury at bay. A million kilometers out, Sol filled my canopy completely. I executed my orders and began deceleration. Yeah. This is my cue to begin deceleration. Now, I was truly on my own. Uh-huh. I had reached the limit of our intel. The Hezo had no idea what was inside the star mine. They didn't know if our ships could withstand the conditions. They had the Hezo had no idea what was inside the star mine. The Hezo didn't know what was inside the star mine, or if the Yamatens could survive within. Could survive entry. I was to use my judgment. My orders were to do whatever I could to try and reach the tachocline. If my ship began to become apart, if my ship began to fail, I was to deploy the barium bomb. It would be a delicate balance. If I decelerated too much, I would overwhelm my exchangers and burned up. If I was too slow, I would overwhelm my exchangers and burn up. If I flew too fast, Icarus. I wonder if I should It would be a delicate balance. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. If I was too slow, I would overwhelm my exchangers and burn up. If I flew too fast, Icarus. During the long deceleration, I wondered if anyone else had gotten this far. I realized I might be closer to the sun than any human being had ever been. Looping strands of plasma danced out into the Mhm. 1080s are fine. Just rewound listening to the Van Peter thing. Yeah, I mean, it's all I've got. So you literally can't buy, unless you're willing to spend $1,400 for a $700 graphics card, you can't buy anything. And I'm just going to fucking wait, you know? I'm not, I really haven't been playing a lot of video games much at all lately. Like, I just quit League altogether, and you don't even need a decent card for League. And I'm like, I would love to have the boost for doing video card shit, for doing, like, sorry, video editing shit, but we'll see, you know? I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Like, I'm going to be waiting till like Monday or Tuesday to even have all the parts for this motherfucker. Whew. Through my canopy, I watched world-swallowing gouts of plasma arc into the corona, as dark rivers of relative cool wove through burning oceans of swaying spicules. What incomprehensible power! How vast, how eternal! Yet somewhere beneath my awe, a voice was whispering that I was the one who could end it all. I'd outlived the others, outflown the destroyer, outrun the interceptors. What would my last words be? Semper Solus? Let there be night? Will the last surviving prisoner please turn off the sun? I blinked at the insipid tenor of my own thoughts. It was just nervous babble. I like that his last word, he like is in contempt of his own dumb thoughts. Ah. I blinked at the insipid tenor of my own thoughts. Perhaps it was brain damage from the vertical jukes. No, probably it was just nerves. My head was full of nervous babbling. I was afraid, stung by the scope of the sun. I was flying into the mouth of a monster. This Ifrit was large enough to swallow every human being who'd ever lived, everything we'd ever built, and every planet we'd ever set foot on. I was drugged to the gills, quivering with terror. I was drugged to the gills, racked with deceleration agony, and quivering with terror. I loved every moment of it. I had arrived. Goddamn traitor. What a goof. Um, ooh. The works of the Lord are great. Sought out all of them that have pleasure therein. Shout out to Milton. So I think this is the part. It's a quote from Lord Rayleigh, actually. Shout outs to him right there. All right, so we're going to stop there. We didn't get through 10 pages, sadly, but we're close. I think it's more like 7 pages. Okay, so here's chapter 20. So this is the chapter where I feel like our editing. Oh yeah, we only got through. This is like, yeah. So it's not gonna be 3 days at this rate, but. Oh, I stopped having the day count. That's fine. I can get it later. So 1139. And how long did we give this guy? Started at 6:13 a.m. It's 7:48 a.m., which means that we edited for 135. But that's all I got in me today. So yeah, so it's going to take, rather than 3 days to finish, it's going to take probably 4. Although we might do like a long run on the last one there. But thank you, Spathywa, for being a part of this whole deal. And yeah, like everybody have a good weekend. Hopefully it's not snowing where you're at, but it certainly is here. Yeah, there are new shirts on the Zach ZYZ shirt store. So you can go to zachzyz.com and check them out. And there are even some, 135. There's some like Lucha merchandise on there too. I know people like that. But be careful. I wouldn't order anything from there because I haven't received proofs. I received a proof from the Gravid shirt, and that one looks okay to me. The quality of these is not screen printed, right? This is direct print to garment. But the nice thing about it is it's fulfilled by a company that will actually send you your shit instead of me, where it takes like months for you to get anything. Sorry. And you probably never get anything. All right, so have a good day. Spathywa, good luck. Day is 18. Yeah. Here, let's just add that into there. And then we can just scroll back from that. Yeah, and Spathy, if you get a second later on, just at some point I need to get the, I guess I could just get them by like myself going back and looking at the streams for the leaderboard count on the last day. Because I'm sure we do like a little congratulatory thing. I can't believe we're almost through. Like we're at the point where like we're definitely going to finish this thing now. We're almost through another novel. That's pretty fucking crazy that we've gotten through so many of these things. And like we're definitely getting better. Today was an outlier. This is the least. Oh no, like chapter 16 was 1325 too. So it looked like light. Let's look at the pattern here. So light, medium, hard. Light, hard, light, light, light. Well, I guess 1900 is normal. Like normal, hard, harder, light, light, very hard. Okay, cool. Nice animation of this. I wanted to make it like a seamless loop. I'll probably redo it at some point right there with like a different fucking when the proof shirts come in, I'll redo it. I'm wearing a Gravit shirt actually in the animation. But yeah, it was just too hard. I couldn't figure out how to get my head exactly the same in the first and last frames. I'm totally willing to put like a 3 megabyte GIF as the logo of my site. Fuck you, mobile people.